Hey guys, welcome back to another sports stuff video. Today, we're going to be talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars and their offseason plan. So if you guys do enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hitting that notification bell to be notified of when I post next. Let's get into this video. And also, don't forget to go in the description, hit my link tree, follow me on TikTok. Again, I'm posting pretty much every other day right now. That's the rate I've been doing, but please follow me on all my other social media. Let's get into this video of fixing the Jacksonville Jaguars and making an offseason plan to go into success. So, as I'm recording this video, they just fired Trent Baalke, and Liam Coen has apparently returned to the building to interview for the head coaching job. So when I made this plan, I did not have a head coach in mind because they were still interviewing guys. So Liam Coen is officially more than likely going to be the head coach of the Jaguars. Do I like it? Do I hate it? I don't think it's the worst guy in the world. I'm someone who does not like one-year coordinators then going into being a head coach. I think it rarely works. It rarely, is the guy that you actually want. But we know he can have a really good offense, but again, it was after 1 year. Like, I like my coordinators having 2-3 years of lots of success before I think that they're really deserving of being a head coach somewhere. So Jacksonville, honestly, that crap show run of an organization. If they hire Liam Coen, I don't like it, but I don't hate Liam Coen going to the Jaguars to be as an offensive side of the ball. I don't hate it, but I just don't think he's really deserved to be a head coaching spot over some other guys, right? I think there's other guys in the NFL that have shown with less talent to do more. So Jacksonville Jaguars, if they do hire Liam Coen, that's where it's heading. We're gonna go under the gaze that Liam Coen is the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So cuts or trades going into free agency in the offseason. You have $35.6 million going in. The first trade I'm gonna be doing is Christian Kirk. 27 receptions, 379 yards, and a touchdown this season. He's still a solid starting wide receiver in the NFL. The rumor was that they tried trading him to Pittsburgh before he got injured, because once guys get injured, you can't trade them. So Christian Kirk was already about to get traded, and then unfortunately got hurt in the game before he got traded. He averages 13 yards per catch the last 5 years. So per catch, he's averaging a first down. That's really good. In Pittsburgh, I genuinely think he'd be the primary target. George Pickens right now is a primary receiver. I think Christian Kirk would be that guy who gets 2 or 3 catches a drive, and George Pickens gets 1 or 2 a drive, but Christian Kirk will be the guy that outpaces him. So for me, I am gonna be trading him to Pittsburgh. There's still a need of a wide receiver, but originally it was a Pittsburgh 3rd round pick going for Christian Kirk. I think because of the injury, it's gonna go down to a 4th round pick, number 121 overall. But the Jaguars, they save $16.2 million, so they save a lot of money. They get a top 150 pick, a top 125 pick. So I think it's definitely worth it for them. And again, Pittsburgh then gets a starting wide receiver that they know has succeeded in the NFL. So after that trade, the only restructure I'm going to be doing is Evan Ingram, restructuring for $10.5 million, meaning going into free agency, you have $72.5 million in money. So we're going to start re-signing some guys. And, some money is going to get spent to re-sign our own guys. So Andre Cisco is going to be the first re-sign I'm going to be doing. This last season had 52 tackles, 1 interception, and 9 run stops. I think Andre Cisco is an all-around good safety. I think, he's definitely a starting quality safety in the NFL. Darnell Savage did not really work out, so keep the guy that has, right? You signed Darnell Savage. He had a really, really bad down year. And, you don't want to rely on that dude to rebound. I'd rather have Andre Cisco, who has had success in Jacksonville, ensure that you have one dude who is making it work, and, you can then fix Darnell Savage while you can rely on Andre Cisco. As you can see, I said Joe Brady. Let's just say Liam Coen. I thought it was going to be Joe Brady, but when I made the slideshow, so we're going to say Liam Coen. So help Liam Coen's new DC shore up the secondary. Instead of making a hole at safety that you then have to draft or sign a dude, just keep the dude in-house. It's already there, right? Andre Cisco, his number one thing is he's a very good run defender. When it comes to passing, he's average, maybe below average when it comes to pass defending. But run defending, it really is his bread and butter. So what I'm going to be doing is doing a 3-year, it went away. There goes my slideshow. Is a 3-year, $40.5 million deal, $31 million guaranteed. That is 76% of it guaranteed. And I based this contract off of Julian Love last year, because I think Julian Love's Andre Cisco, when they're both going to free agency, I felt that was about even. But Julian Love did make more money. He is making more money per season on average. But Andre Cisco, the signing bonus, the guaranteed salary, 2 years fully guaranteed, and then that 3rd year is half guaranteed. But yeah, Andre Cisco is definitely I think they need to keep. Don't make another hole in this defense that you need to fix. You already have a lot of holes you need to fix. Keep the dude who you know is going to work out. Going into free agency, then you have $61 million going to free agency. That's a lot of money for a team that doesn't have that many holes altogether. I think they're a pretty well-built team, but the issue's just been coaching. So free agency, $61 million. Let's fix this team. First off, going to Evan Brown. He has 66 PFF grade, 74 pass blocking, 59 run blocking. To me, he's still a solid starting left guard. You know, he did struggle this past season, but I definitely think that Evan Brown is deserving of a spot in the NFL, and I think this is the perfect team to get him. He ran a more modern offense in Arizona. I could not find a picture of Evan Brown in Arizona, so ignore the Seahawks pick. But yeah, they ran a more modern offense in Arizona, so you know it wouldn't be that much of a transition from Arizona to Jacksonville with Liam Coen, a more modern offense. He won't be too expensive to get. A starting left guard in the NFL usually costs you around $7 to $9 million. You get him for 3.75. He will be cheaper and better than Brandon Scherff because Brandon Scherff is a free agent, and I just think he's gonna go elsewhere and try to win a Super Bowl somewhere. So Evan Brown, 2-year, $8.5 million, 5 3/4 guaranteed, 67% guaranteed for a starting left guard in the NFL. Not bad at all. Then we're gonna be signing Rasul Douglas as well with 49 tackles, 0 interceptions, and 18 run stops as a cornerback from the Buffalo Bills. To me, good starting corner. You know, he's not a top 5 corner in the league, but he's just a quality starting corner. He elevates a secondary that's struggling right now. You have Douglas. Why would I put Douglas and not? That's so annoying. Oh, Rasul Douglas. Yeah, Rasul Douglas, Tyson Campbell, and Jerry Jones will be your starting 3. That's a really solid, young, up-and-coming solid 3. He's a ball hawk, willing to get dirty in the run game. He may not be the best run defender, but he's willing to at least throw his body around. And as a ball hawk, this is a dude that usually has 3 to 4 interceptions a year, it feels like, but it's had a down year when it comes to interceptions. But again, so it'd be Rasul Douglas, Tyson Campbell, Jerry Jones going into the draft as your starting 3, and then you can draft a dude as well. So I gave him a 3-year, $26 million deal, $17 million guaranteed. That is 63% guaranteed for a starting corner in the NFL. A dude with a lot of experience, a lot of playoff experience, who this week is playing to go to the Super Bowl. That's something that I really like in Rasul Douglas. Next, we have Willie Gay with the New Orleans Saints. He had 17 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. He became a rotation linebacker once he left Kansas City. I definitely think, KC, they drafted a lot of dudes, and Willie Gay was just on the outside of the bubble of the roster because he was outside of his rookie contract. They'd already drafted multiple linebackers to replace him. So he went to New Orleans, became a rotation linebacker. But I think he definitely could be a starter still in the NFL. So unfortunately, he couldn't beat out the slim linebacker room in New Orleans. So for me, you bring in Willie Gay, you bring in competition to Devin Lloyd and Foyesade, and oh my God, I can't remember his name. Foyesade Oluokun. There you go. You bring competition to Devin Lloyd and Foyesade Oluokun. So, you have a third linebacker that you rely on. He has Super Bowl experience. He won a Super Bowl and has lost a Super Bowl as well. So, Willie Gay, he has experience in the big games for a team that has almost no one who has experience in big games. So, 2-year, $7.5 million, $4.5 million guaranteed. That is 60% guaranteed for a linebacker who has a lot of experience in the NFL now, like 6 or 7 years, it feels like. 2019, he got drafted, so 6 years. And again, a guy who has Super Bowl experience, that's something you can't really, get in the NFL nowadays. Next, we have Hassan Reddick at pass rusher. He had 11 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble, and he did that in 9 games. So you stretch that, double the season. That's 22 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. That is a starting edge in the NFL. So he averages 52. If you average it out as well, he would have had 52 pressures as well. So he will not be expensive due to his holdout. He was on the Eagles. He wanted to get traded. They traded him to the Jets. He wanted a new contract. The Jets said, "We're not paying you a new contract." So he held out the first 9 games of the season. Then he goes, "All right, fine, I'll come and play." And he did pretty solid in 9 games. Again, you stretch his 9-game stats out to an 18-game season. That's 22 tackles, 6 sacks on 52 pressures. I definitely think he'd get more sacks and more pressures if he was more in shape. He did help this young secondary, having a good group of pass rushers. Him, Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines Allen. That's a good group of pass rushers. So I gave him a 2-year, $20 million deal, $13 million guaranteed at 65%, right in the sweet spot. So with those signings, you go into the draft, you feel comfortable that you just take BPA all across the board. You still have $43 million. You want to leave $9 million for the draft picks. So you technically have, $34 million to play with. You can go get another offensive lineman, go get another D tackle, a linebacker, whatever you feel like you want to do with that $34 million, or you just let it roll over in the cap. So going into the draft, here's what I did. Obviously, at the top of the draft at number 5 overall, I went Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, great boundary corner. I see him getting probably 10 to 15 snaps as a wide receiver a game. So, with the Jaguars, you let your young guys develop. You have Gabe Davis. You have what's his name? You have Gabe Davis. You have Brian Thomas Jr. And Travis Hunter can come in for 10 to 15 snaps a game. Whether it's the red zone, whether it's you got to have it yards, you can rely on Travis Hunter to come in, and you just take those 10, 15 snaps out of the defense because you have Rasul Douglas, you have Tyson Campbell, you have Jarian Jones. You don't need Travis Hunter to play every single snap on defense. So I think the Jaguars are uniquely situated where they don't need to rely on him on either side of the board, but he can play both sides of the ball a good amount, right? I think it's going to be more like a 60-40, 70-30 split on defensive to wide receiver split on his stats. But yeah, Travis Hunter at number 5. Liam Coen will like to have this type of a player. The wide receiver core is looking good with a young up-and-coming secondary. So you have Travis Hunter that fits in that young up-and-coming secondary with a really solid wide receiver core. Where again, he's not relied upon to be the generational player on either side of the ball. He can just be a good player on both sides of the ball. And I think that's something that the Jaguars could definitely take advantage of. Xavier Watts at 36, a safety from Notre Dame. To me, he's one of the best safeties in college football the last year or two. He's gotten better with more snaps every single year. He fights a receiver with every catch that he's defending, and he's a willing run defender. A lot of people would say his calling card is run defense, but I think it's actually pass defense. I think, he has active hands when, let's say, you have a wide receiver coming across your face, they catch it. He's immediately getting his hand in that pocket and trying to strip them, right? He's making sure that they know you're not comfortable around me because I'm going to put my hand in your arm and try and, whip that ball out. So Xavier Watts at 36, I think him, Andre Cisco, and Darnell Savage is a really solid safety core, and I think that's something you can develop over the next few years. At number 70, I have Harold Fannin Jr., everyone's favorite linebacker, not linebacker, tight end coming into this draft. Harold Fannin, he competes with Ingram day one for the starter job. Evan Ingram and Harold Fannin, I think you could definitely have an argument of who's better right now. He's a good blocker. He has a great frame, a great catch radius. And for me, this opens up the 12 personnel set. You have 2 really good receiving tight ends with Harold Fannin, a really good blocker, and Evan Ingram, who's gotten better as a blocker. So you genuinely have the threat now of 12 personnel. Because right now, it's Luke Strange, who's a tight end number 2. He's not good enough to be a tight end number 2. Harold Fannin truly opens up that 12 personnel set for you that Liam Coen loves to run, that we saw in the Buccaneers. He loves 12 personnel. Then at 88, I grabbed Tate Ratledge from Georgia. He's a starting level guard that can sit for a season and get stronger. I do think Tate Ratledge could start year 1, but I would rather sit him, let him get more stronger, and next year play him. He played pretty solid for a great SEC school that faced top competition off season. He's one of the most consistently good guards in this class. Every year, as his snap count has gotten up, he's stayed really good. And again, in the SEC, that's a lot of really good pass rushers, and Tate Ratledge has not really given up that many sacks or pressures. So for me, Tate Ratledge at 88, again, maybe not this year, but next year, I think he could start for you. Torrey Horton, the wide receiver from Colorado State. Horton, his season got cut short due to injury. He was on pace for his best career year. Every year he averages 8 touchdowns and 14 yards per catch. That's really good. Another guy that averaged something around that was Brian Thomas Jr. Obviously, it was, I think, 16 yards per catch and 10 touchdowns. But Torrey Horton, really solid wide receiver, 6'3", 190. I think he could be a power slot receiver for them. You have Brian Thomas, Gabe Davis on the outside. You can then have Torrey Horton and Travis Hunter rotating in and out at that slot receiver spot. And again, Torrey Horton, I think a power slot receiver is what I see him being in the NFL. And that's a starting job in the NFL, right? Demarcus Robinson this past season was a power slot. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are both power slot receivers. They get a mismatch every single time they're on the field because the linebackers can't keep up with them, and they're too big for the safeties coming down the support. So I think Torrey Horton can get that mismatch with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then at 124, grabbing Shamar Turner from Texas A&M, defensive interior guy. Shamar, he's developed into a quality rotation edge rusher. It says interior defender, but a lot of his snaps were on the edge. It was more like a 50-50 split. So I think he plays more edge in the NFL. To me, he's a Zadarius Smith type of player. He gets a lot of pressures, not a lot of sacks. But again, pressures are something that you also like in the NFL. Can you at least cause a quarterback to get a little uneasy to where they make a bad play? That's exactly what you want to do. So for me, grabbing Shamar Turner, that's exactly what I want to do. Get a guy who can get pressure and can consistently turn those pressures into hurries, hopefully can turn into sacks. just like you wish with the Zadarius Smith every year, is hopefully this guy who gets a lot of pressures can then turn him into sacks for us. At 142, I did take a shot on a running back. Jordan James, he's a great rotation back. Obviously, Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne are a really good duo. But to me, this adds a power back who has great field vision. You know, honestly, Tank Bigsby is a great power back. Get those hard nose running. But this past season, he's really gotten more elusive. I think Jordan James is the type of guy that you give him the ball, he can get 6 yards while running over 3 different guys. I like Jordan James as a rotation back in the NFL. And I think it's a great team that could use his skill level. Then at 182, we have Darius Alexander from Toledo. Darius, he's a 6'4", 310-pound nose tackle. His D tackle room is actually pretty thin behind Devon Hamilton. So Darius adds a great run defending ability to his D tackle room. He's still a good he's still a good pass rusher, but for me, he definitely excels at the run stuffing. So he's gonna be a situational D tackle. But at 182 in the 6th round, having a situational run tackle, that's perfectly fine with me. And then finally, at 223, we're gonna grab Nicholas Martin, the linebacker from Oklahoma State. To me, good solid rotation linebacker, great size. I see him more as a special teamer. Don't really see him as a starter, especially over Devin Lloyd and Foyesade Oluokun. He's just a solid rotation guy, right? Really good run defender, not a great pass coverage. I think run defending, whether it's, the first down, second down, he can come on and be serviceable. Then in that trade with Christian Kirk for 121, I grabbed Chase Lunt, the tackle from Connecticut. Chase, I see him as a developmental right tackle. Great size from Chase Lunt. Obviously, you have Anton Harrison and Walker Little. They're holding tackle down right now. But Walker Little really hasn't developed as I thought he could. He has not developed really at all. I see him getting replaced in a year or two if he continues to not develop how he should. I think Lunt has all the building blocks that Walker Little had, but might actually develop into something, right? We know what Walker Little is. He's an okay tackle. Chase Lunt, day one, is a tackle. It's maybe. But in a year or two, he could be a good tackle, an okay tackle. Just like Walker Little, he's an okay tackle. So get someone already on the team, so a year or two from now, you can move on from Walker Little, and you have Chase Lunt immediately ready to start if you don't already have a solution at tackle. Or he's a swing tackle, or he swings in the guard, right? That's also a possibility. Chase Lunt is, I think, agile enough to do that. But yeah, that is my Jaguars offseason plan. So obviously, grabbing in the draft Travis Hunter and Torrey Horton to be that power slot, Travis Hunter being that corner. You're fixing your secondary with Xavier Watts, fixing a lot of your defensive line issues with Shamari Turner and Darius Alexander. You bring in Tate Rutledge and Chase Lunt to kind of develop at the offensive line position, and Harold Fannin Jr. to come in to really make that 12 personnel a possibility. A bunch of really solid veterans as well at key positions that you're signing, whether it be Hassan Reddick, Evan Brown, or Willie Gay. And then you're going to be trading Christian Kirk and re-signing an Andre Cisco with a new head coach in Liam Coen. That's something I think they could do. But if you guys enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit notification bell, notified when I post next. Again, please go in the description, follow me on all the social media, and let me know when you do. But again, go in the comments, say what you think of this draft, what you think of this offseason plan, and I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.